Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Bird Brothers podcast. I am your host, Falcon, joined as always by my good pal, Condor. How are you doing today, Condor?
Oh, hello. Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yakuza Zero podcast.
What?
What? Surprise.
Have you beat Yakuza Zero yet, or are you just playing too
No,
much shogi?
I have it on my screen right now. It's
Okay.
I'm taking my time with it. There's a
Okay.
lot of mini games in this game.
There's a lot of mini games.
I just unlocked go-karts.
Mm.
There was this mini game where you go to watch a sexual video. It's not actually sexual, it's just like a girl, and she could either be like in a really skimpy outfit. And then as soon as you watch the video to the full, you get a trophy that's called I did it for the trophy.
Yeah, no, I've beaten Yakuza Zero. I've gotten that trophy.
You've beaten Yakuza Zero and you won't stream it?
I have beaten Yakuza 0, I have beaten Yakuza Kiwami, I've beaten Yakuza 4.
But you haven't beaten Kiwami 2?
No, not yet. I started with 4, and then I never got on to playing any more of them just due to time. And then I bought Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2, and I haven't finished them. I need to finish 7 as well because I've been playing it.
I bought it today.
So many Yakuza games. So many. I want to play more. I just don't have
I also bought Judgment.
So long. I need to buy that too. They have a PS5 version.
It's on sale. It's on sale for $20 right now.
I know it is, but see, I just impulse bought a Quest 2, so I don't really have the money to buy Judgment right now. You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wanted to play Beat Saber. So
anyway, today we're talking about the main character Kiryu, right? Right, Falcon.
Right. Kiryu Kazuma and his
wait a minute,
Digimon
we're not
partner.
talking about Yakuza. We're talking about Digimon. Falcon,
Yeah,
how could you let me go off topic like this so far?
Because why not? Why not start off topic? It can be a lot of fun. Sometimes it can be annoying. We'll just let the viewers decide.
Yeah.
But yes, we're talking about the second arc of the new Digimon Adventure 2020 reboot that happens between episodes 25 and 50.
And we have just like to apologize because we did a dumb, and we decided to start watching this when only episode 49 was out, and next episode was the conclusion to the current arc we were watching, so we had to delay this one by a week. So we apologize about that. Next time we'll make sure to double check our research to see like if like the current arc we're watching is like completed. You know?
I thought it was, so we're like, let's go on and do the next 24 episodes, and we were wrong. So we apologize that we skipped a week, but hopefully that will not happen in the future unless
we'll make up for it by Falcon playing Sonic 06 on his Twitch channel.
Maybe we might do that. We might not. Only time will tell, really. But yes, so if you want to hear what we thought about the first part, you can go watch that. We talked a lot about the story and characters there. We're not going to talk about every character probably again. We're going to talk about the new ones or the ones that were very, very barely in the last few episodes moving forward. So if you don't want to hear spoilers from that, or even really this next chunk, maybe, wait a bit.
I won't say this is, we could probably say it's not going to be a very spoiler heavy, podcast, but there will be spoilers because this will be technically after episode 25. So
yes.
But if you are a big Digimon fan and you want to hear a really big Digimon fan and mine opinions on this, then here you go. This is just for you.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. Show them your shirt. Show them your shirt.
All right.
Show them your shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Gomamon shirt, repping best Digidestined and Digimon right here.
Wait, that's not Gomamon. That's Final Falcon Smirk.
I think it's Final Falcon LOL.
It's Smug, actually. I got it wrong.
No, Smug is the Lapras.
Oh, wait, no, what is it?
That's my Lapras one, because I really wanted a really smug Lapras, because we were playing Let's Go. I was like, oh yeah, that Lapras looks smug AF, and so we got a smug Lapras emote. But anyway, enough about my Twitch, which you can find at twitch.tv/BirdBroFalcon if you choose to listen. Anyway, so episode 21 to 24 was the kids dealing with trying to locate the Holy Digimon, which we now know to be Patamon, and TK came in the very, very end. This next chunk is them trying to prevent a very evil Digimon from coming back to life. But at the start, Sora, Mimi, Joe, and Izzy are in the human world.
Who's Izzy?
Izzy's his English name. The Tentamon's partner.
Joe?
No, that's Gomamon's partner. Why can I not think of his name?
How could you? Izzy is such a weird name. It's Koichi or something, right?
Izumi. No, Koshiro Izumi.
Koshiro. There we go. It's Koshiro.
Yeah, that was like, I cannot think of it. It's not that much different, but yeah.
As you can tell, Falcon here is a big Digimon fan. He calls them all by the English name. I only know them by the names I've watched them from here.
Yeah, I normally watch them in dub if I can. It just feels weird for me watching it subbed unless there's just not any other option available. I don't know why. It just does. Yeah, I'm more familiar with English names, so I might flip back and forth. If I do, I apologize. They're stuck in the human world trying to find their way back. We have Yamato, Taichi, and Takaru in the digital world. And Hikari is coming into the picture as well. So she will eventually come over, but she is still currently in the human world. But
she does come.
Yeah, she does come. She's there with kind of the side Digidestined, you know. This series very much is about Tai and Taichi alone, and the others kind of appear when they choose to.
Yeah, I will say that I agree. It's definitely a lot more prominent here, especially with like the one where he gets the Mega Digimon, you know.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple different mega forms that happened this time around,
which was really badass, to be honest. I really like when he became War Greymon. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, War Greymon's always been his normal one, but honestly, I really liked Blitz Greymon better. I was like, I would have been fine if they would have kept it that way, like for the rest of it. I would have been okay with it. I mean, it's a reboot; you can make different changes.
True, but they didn't.
Yeah. Anyway.
Unfortunate.
Right.
And then there's a new evil. Uh-oh. Who is that new evil, Falcon?
So we have found out that all of the evil Digimon we've had at this point have been working towards one goal: to resurrect Millenniumon, who was this Digimon that was so strong in the past that took the Holy Digimon and their team of like guardian Digimon, I guess, to seal him away. They couldn't even really defeat him. They just sealed him into this like crystal hope in hopes he would never come back. So all the Digimon we'd seen up to this point, including Skull Knightmon and all them, had been working to try to get the power to revive Millenniumon and pretty much take over and destroy the digital world. So our team must now journey to a sacred land called Faga to stop Millenniumon from being resurrected. And of course, they have many, many challenges along the way.
Was it called the Eternal Continent? Was that where most of this half takes? Okay, I'm trying to look for the name. I couldn't find it. Yep, this takes place. They go from the Cloud Continent to the Eternal Continent.
Yes, when we last left off, they had just fallen off the Cloud Continent, and so we pretty much, from this batch of episodes, have been on the Eternal Continent.
It's a lot bigger, and it's a lot more tougher Digimon. The Digimon here on the Eternal Continent fight to survive. Like they would literally fight to feast and become stronger.
Yeah, really, I mean, they did that on the Cloud Continent as well. They just weren't as strong, it seemed.
Oh, I guess I wasn't paying attention in the first half.
I mean, like, they didn't show it as much in the first half. The first half was more getting the group together and figuring out why things in the digital world affected the real world. So that wasn't as much the focus, but they just, like, you had the Mimi episode where the Tuskmon were trying to steal all the food from the Tanamon, and the Tanamon were really weak because they're babies. And you couldn't really do anything, so they had to protect the Tanamon because the Tanamon would probably die if they let the Tuskmon get all the food, because either by dying from the Tuskmon or dying because of no food. You know, they had several situations like that, but it wasn't the focus as much as it was in the new one.
They don't need food, silly. They need data.
I mean, it is data, but they eat the food as well.
There's
many, many scenes of Digimon eating food.
I know. I like the one with the burger. That was a good episode.
I knew
that's one of my favorites. That one's one of my favorites, honestly.
And then Chim's favorite, or Condor's favorite, being Bergamon. Gosh, that episode is the one I really liked. We'll have to talk about that episode more later. It was really stupid, but I loved it.
What are you talking about?
Top tier filler episode. Top tier. But yeah, I guess we should talk about the new characters next, because that's the basic story overview. We can talk more in depth later. So one of the characters we're going to talk about is one who really wasn't in the last season, or not the last season, the last chunk of episodes, and that is Takaru, or TK, as some people like to call him.
He was basically there, but he didn't really do much. But now he did stuff, so now we can talk about him.
Yeah, so Takaru is the younger brother of Yamato. He is Patamon's Digimon partner, and Patamon is one of the Holy Digimon.
Wait, did you say one of the Holy Digimon?
There's one of the Holy Digimon. What? There are 2 Holy Digimon.
That's holy crap.
Well, I know, right? Like, what? Yeah, but anyway, so he appeared in the first half because he got transported to the digital world and captured by Skull Nightmon or Dark Nightmon, whichever form he was in at the time. Because they were trying to turn the Holy Digimon's egg into being evil, so that way the Holy Digimon couldn't stop the resurrection. Of course, as we saw in the last batch episodes, the Digidestined Tai and Yamato succeeded in rescuing Patamon's egg. Patamon hatched like the Holy Digimon as normal, and TK and Patamon become fast friends like all the other Digidestined and their Digimon. But yeah, he's very he symbolizes hope, so he's a very hopeful character. But he actually does some stuff in this one. He's very TK is a weird one. He kind of is like kind of just generic little boy.
Little boy.
In some ways, like, does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. Yeah,
like he's very much just like he's independent enough to do some things on his own, but he still relies on everybody else. But he cares more about just like making sure everybody is happy and having a good time to some extent. Like even the scenes I'm thinking of where like he really has like shining moments. It's like, you hurt that person, they shouldn't be hurt. Okay, well, fine. Like it's okay, that's fine. Do you have much to say?
How old he was?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably what, like 7? Maybe
grown up for a 7-year-old.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember.
That's the one thing. That's the one problem I have with him. It's not a problem, but it's more like he just seems so like grown up for a 7-year-old.
Well, they don't highlight. That's kind of one of the issues I have with the reboot. They don't highlight why that is very much. So we know that Takaru and Yamato's parents are divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And Takaru lives with the mom, Yamato lives with the dad. In the old show, you find out that the mom worked a lot, so he's used to having to take care of himself. So that's kind of why that happens. Let's see, how old is he in the new one?
I couldn't find an
age for him.
I couldn't find it. I went to the wiki too. I couldn't find it. How old was he in the original, the 1999 one? Let me click that article. Maybe it says it there.
I don't remember.
He said, yep, 7.
Okay.
7. So we're going to assume he's probably 7 for this one as well.
7 or 8, yeah. And then Kari, I think, is the same age, so she should be 7 or 8 as well. Or Hikari. Yeah, so he's used to having to deal with himself a lot, but Matt tries to make sure that TK, whenever they're together, can just enjoy having fun and be like the well-protected younger brother of the group. Yeah, he seems very mature for his age, just due to living situations, which I'm assuming, since he's still that way, that's still probably the same in the remake. They just haven't focused on their lives in the human world too much.
Yeah, that's the one
like,
thing.
Mimi's rich and Joe's parents are like study. Like, they haven't really focused on it, or they talk about that more in the original one a
Basically,
lot.
For this remake, they haven't really gone into the depths of the characters to make them better characters. They're just kind of there. They're kind of just flat characters that just do things that interact with the world. The thing that I could tell is this anime is very much more action oriented, I assume, than the original.
Yeah, I could say that. The first one had action, but even like in the first one, there comes a chunk of time where they leave the digital world and the Digimon partners come with them, and they're doing stuff in the human world while investigating it. So that's also kind of why we get more insight to what like their living situation is.
And it's with those episodes that you get to learn more about the characters. You can't really learn about a character unless when they're fighting. You'll learn about their resolve and what they are as a fighter, but you won't get to learn about who they are, what makes them tick and everything else like that. That's why you need those episodes like that to learn about them, you know? And that's so far every single episode. I'm trying to think. Every single episode we've watched so far there's always been a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Every single episode.
I think in the old one, pretty much every episode had a fight, with the exception of a couple.
But yeah,
the fights weren't as like long or anything.
None. But there are still fights. This is why I said this one's more action oriented, because it focuses more on the fights and the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, if you don't care about the characters, I guess it's fine for a Digimon fan a long time because you already know this character, you know what makes him tick. But for someone like me who's watching this one technically as my very first all the way through Digimon series, I just think the characters are flat. And that's why I said to you before, I felt like we really wanted to talk about a few of the ones that we didn't talk about before because I felt like personally everyone else was the same. But you said you've noticed a few changes, and I'm like, okay, I didn't notice that. But if you did, I trust your opinion more. So I guess that's a problem with this one where they don't focus more on character development, unless it's Taichi because he's the main character. Yeah, or Yamato. I mean, Yamato got character development. He got character development.
Yeah, and 100%. Yamato's a weird one because like he got a lot at the very beginning. Like we see him in the first few episodes, then he disappears into the last like one to rejoin them in the digital world because he doesn't live in Tokyo. He lives elsewhere. So when he came to the digital world, he was in a different spot. And then after that, we got Matt. They said when they were watching this series, so this was a series about Taichi, but if they had to pick like a second main character, it'd be Yamato.
Obviously, it'd be Yamato.
Which makes sense. But then like even in the second half of the episodes, I feel like for the first half, Yamato didn't do anything like at all. Like he was there, but then it was just he came back, he did a little, then he kind of disappeared again, and it was all Taichi until like the last few episodes of the group batch again, and then we got Yamato again. It's been weird how they've done it. I don't mind it because it is kind of weird, like trying to focus on 7 kids together all the time. So I don't mind that like this is more about Taichi. If you want the others to have more of an equal like screen time, watch the old one because they did. It was like Tai episode, Yamato episode, Izumi episode. Like, you know, it kind of like just rotated. And like Tai got a few more than everybody else, but for the most part, it was fairly even. To where here it's like Tai, Joe, Mimi, Sora, Yamato, like Tai. You know, so it's which I don't mind because it is more about Tai, and that does give it a little bit, I guess, more cohesion as far as like who the main characters are and whatnot. Be like TK's there, he does some stuff. When he's not doing stuff, he's just kind of there hugging Patamon. Like that's really what he does if he doesn't have like a focus episode. He's just there watching. Hugging Patamon.
I mean, his focus episode was just the one where they were being chased by in like that really like wasteland type area, but that was like a small focus, you know, when Pegasusmon first came.
Yeah, when Pegasusmon. And then he also had the one at the theme park with Possumon, where he and Yamato are looking for food.
I'm not a bad Digimon. You be kick.
But yeah, otherwise, there's not really much we can say about TK. He's always very hopeful. He wants to. I guess something else we can say is he is a little more independent, so he wants to help. So when he finally was able to get Patamon to digivolve to Pegasusmon, we actually see him helping out in the fights more often.
Heck yeah,
not
that
like
was pretty
every
cool.
fight, but it was kind of nice. Him being like, I can help too, and like, all right, let's do this, and he would participate more. But otherwise, he was just kind of there. Which will take us to Hikari next, who is Taichi's younger
Falcon.
Sister.
What? If I leave this one off, Mr. Falcon, I have some words about Hikari here. All right, so Hikari acts more like a 7-year-old than freaking TK, especially shown at the beginning, where she's just like the scenes where they're like just like looking over the computer in the human world, and she's just there standing awkwardly, and then like when
she doesn't know what to do,
she gets sent to the digital world, and then she's still being like really awkward. Even that's the part where she got kidnapped, she's just being awkward, doesn't know what to do. She's like, I'm just like feeling really awkward. I'm just like, wait, you're being kidnapped. Are you just not going to react? And she's just like,
yeah, I had some issues with that, but it also kind of confirmed a theory I had from early on. So I was when that happened, I was like, I think what I'm thinking is going to happen, and then what I was thinking happened.
Was it the scene where she got like absorbed into the darkness and stuff? Was it that scene?
Yeah. Yeah. But even like going back to the first chunk of episodes, what little we saw Hikari was at the very beginning when Hikari and the mom were out shopping and they get on the train, and then the train goes haywire. And even there, like you see she's scared, but she's not like freaking out scared. It's more like, what do I do? Like this train's going really fast. And like she's been more scared, but like very quiet and whatnot. But I think to her and TK, it shows the differences. Taichi and Hikari live with their mom and dad. She always has the mom or Taichi looking out for her. We never really see the dad, but we know they have a dad. So like she's used to having like people all around her take care of her, to where TK lives with his mom and just his mom, who works a lot. So he's used to doing things for himself and taking care of himself unless Yamato's around. So I think that's just kind of the difference in how they have to like live everyday life. But yeah, she very much just kind of like stands there awkwardly staring at things the majority of the time.
Yeah, and then when she gets her partner, Tailmon. Now, real quick, I just want to say, I'm like, oh, I know who Hikari's partner is. It's Gatomon. And then when they release it's Tailmon, I'm like, wait a minute, who's Tailmon? And then I look up and see Tailmon and Gatomon are the same Digimon.
Yeah, there's
names.
They did that with some of the names and dubbed. They changed them. Not all of them. It's kind of really weird ones.
I'm surprised they changed Tailmon when Tailmon sounds a lot better than Gatomon.
Yeah,
Gato is like Spanish for cat, so I understand that. So why did they do that? I don't get it, but whatever. Anyway,
one of the Digimon we see later, Sephirothmon. Sephirothmon has a different name in Japanese, but yet for some reason in this one they didn't translate Tailmon to Gatomon, but they translated whatever Sephirothmon's name was to Sephirothmon. So
they probably just took a hat. They probably put both names in a hat, and they just picked one out. Look, this is the one we're naming them for the 2020 anime, and then that's how they got it.
Unless they just decide in English they want to change Gatomon to Tailmon to make it a little more like coherent with the main group. I don't know. But yeah, it's weird one.
But basically, after Hikari gets Tailmon from the place where she gets him, she becomes a little more like less awkward, more like a child, more mature, which is understandable. That's great to see. That's a bit of a character development in my eyes. Compared to TK, but from what you explained with TK, that's understandable. So she was a really weird character. I liked her though. She had some nice episodes.
I mean, even in the old one, Hikari was always really weird. In the old one, she was a little more talkative. I feel like in this one,
she was like super quiet.
Her episodes, she never really said anything. In the old one, she was still more quiet, but she talked a lot more. But the others would still talk more than her. But Hikari's always been this weird character. Like, she's always had this like weird connection to the digital world they never fully like explored. Like, she'd do weird things in the first one and people were like, how did she know that? But she just knew. And then they tried in the second series to explore it. And they had this whole thing they were going to do where there's this place in the digital world called the Dark Ocean, and we hear about it. And then at the end of the episode, they tease that Hikari is connected to the Dark Ocean somehow. And this is how she knows everything. And we see this like evil Digimon shadow appear out of it. And then they never mentioned it again. They just dropped it. Like, never explored, never mentioned again. Hikari just still knows all this weird stuff. And that was, I found out later, due to there were two like main writers on the show, and one like this Dark Ocean thing, and the other one didn't like it. And then they ended up getting tired of fighting all the time. The one who liked the Dark Ocean left, so they just scrapped it. But it made for this really weird shift in like story and tone and how everything was going. It was odd. But yeah, so like here it's like she's connected, but it seems here she's more connected to Tailmon and not necessarily like the world as a whole. But she's always been like a very weird character. A lot of people hate her character because she kind of has like weird plot devices mixed into. We're like, well, how can someone know? Just let Hikari know. How does she know? Like, it's like she just does. But yeah.
She just does.
Yeah, and then even like most of the crests that they embody, or like the traits they embody, are courage, love, hope, friendship. Hikari's is light. She embodies light. So it's like, okay, how do you define that as well? So I think that's part of it too. But Hikari's there. I enjoyed Hikari this time. I feel like she does more interesting things than she does in the old one, at least to me. Yeah, she just kind of stands there like staring at everything.
That she do. I
was getting annoyed though when she was getting kidnapped. She was just like staring, looking at Taichi.
Yeah, that was just
she's
so
not even
weird.
like calling out to him, like, because like even in the old one she'd be quiet, but she still would have been like, brother, help, you know, and it would have been like quiet. She would have been like screaming it, but she would have been saying something or crying or something like that. But like, nope, she's just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna go with this guy who kidnapped me. No big deal. I'm not gonna say anything the entire time.
That just added to the like the awkwardness of it. Yeah.
But anyway, do you have anything else you want to say about Hikari, or do we want to move to Tailmon?
Never meet your heroes, kid.
All right. So
the reason why I said that is because I expected her to be a lot better from just like pictures I've seen and like images what I've heard. So, but maybe just the angle they were doing it for this one.
Maybe. All right, that brings us to Tailmon, aka Gatomon,
aka probably the only Digimon so far that we're probably going to be talking about. I assume if we're going to watch the next half, I don't know. You said it was 66 or 63 episodes.
66. So we have 16 left
for the next 16 episodes. I assume that I assume we're probably going to be talking about Digimon for characters because we technically already talked about all the characters, unless they surprise us with another character to join to the team. But I don't think that's going to happen this late in the game.
The only thing I can think happening there is if they go on and like tease that they're going to do like a reboot of the second season and like show us the characters from that season. But I don't know that's going to happen. I feel like they're going to tie this up neatly, and then if it does well and they want to explore those characters again, we might see them. But that group is like famously known for getting shafted at every turn. So who knows what's going to happen?
Maybe not, but we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tailmon is the second Holy Digimon we find out.
Yeah, well, the second one.
Second one? What? But yeah, we do not find her from Myotismon this time around. We find her from Dark Knightmon, Skull Knightmon at the time.
Millenniumon, actually. Technically, she was inside Millennium because they were trying. Spoilers. Skip the next minute or two if you don't care. But they were trying to resurrect Millenniumon, and they were using Skull Knightmon or Black Knightmon, whichever one they were using, and basically they used Hikari to like absorb her, and the Tailmon was in there. That's how Hikari and Tailmon became together and partners.
Yeah, they were using. They wanted to get Hikari out of the way, so that way there wasn't any like chance that Tailmon could come back. Same reason they were trying to get rid of, get rid of Patamon's egg, was so that way Patamon couldn't be revived.
But who knew by reuniting the Digimon and the human together that they would break free? Wow.
I think they thought Tailmon was so far gone it wouldn't matter because I
think it was stupid regardless.
It was stupid, but so Tailmon had been like trapped in this like darkness, like world of darkness type thing in one of the crystals that held part of Millenniumon in it. And they're using Hikari as like a catalyst to help revive Millenniumon. So they end up like putting her in this like on the crystal and she gets absorbed into it where Gatomon is. But by her being there, she can sense Gatomon in the crystal and she just kind of like floats over to Gatomon, and when they grab hands, Tailmon is now free. I need to stop saying Gatomon.
Took you 4 times.
Yeah, I know, but I'll try. I watch it so much dub; those names are like hardwired in, so I really have to try to be careful. But by grabbing hands, they break free, and then they finally get rid of Skull Knightmon or whichever Knightmon he was at the time, and they join the party. I do like what that did for Tailmon, though. We do have scenes later on where like she was in the darkness so much it can kind of overtake her again somewhat. So she has to like kind of watch it, and Hikari's there to like balance that out for her, kind of. That's when I saw that Hikari wasn't like putting up a fight, getting kidnapped, and just standing there awkwardly. Like she kept saying she was getting called, and I figured that was from Gatomon. So when she went with Skull Knightmon, I was like, they've captured Gatomon somehow, and they're taking Hikari over there. So Hikari's going because she can sense she's going in the right direction.
See, that wasn't my thought. My thought was Gatomon was probably just going to come and like save her like midway or something, but that didn't happen. So
yeah.
Nope. Tailmon is a cat who has paws and is a holy Digimon. She digivolves to Angelwoman. And then she has
Holy Digimon.
She is a character who is a Digimon and believes that Joe is the leader due to the best episode in the whole show. So is good character, 100%, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. She's good. I liked Gatomon, I think, better in the old series because here she like where Patamon, since Patamon had to be reborn, doesn't remember that he's really he remembers he's like a holy Digimon, but he doesn't remember anything else. It's like, yeah, I think I'm the holy Digimon. That's what I'm remembering. But Gatomon, since Gatomon wasn't destroyed, or Tailmon remembers everything that happened. So Tailmon is very much just like, we have to stop this. I know where to go. Let's go. And like, otherwise like doesn't really have a personality other than the fact of wants to make sure Hikari's protected and they stop Millenniumon from being resurrected. Like that's really all of Tailmon's personality in this one. But
Tailmon still has more personality than all the other Digimon, in my opinion.
I would disagree with that in somewhat.
Okay, maybe not personality.
Tailmon has more like story importance.
That's what I meant to say. More character than the other Digimon. Personality-wise, definitely Agumon, or how freaking Mimi's Digimon has more personality.
Palmon, Gomamon, and Agumon have always had like the most personality out of all of them. They all have their own personalities. They're just the more entertaining ones. Gabumon's just like very shy and reserved. Piyomon just hardly ever says anything. Like they all have their things. But yeah. Otherwise, I don't know if there's really much we can say about Tailmon.
Tailmon is a Digimon. All right, that's it. Let's move on.
All right. There was.
Is there any other? Some other character moments that you want to talk about. As I've mentioned before already, I basically felt like none of the characters changed other than Yamato in a few episodes. I can't really think of any others. That's because it's been a week since I've watched the show, so I may not be remembering. But I feel like from what I've watched, every single episode other than like the story ones were like, here we are, Digimon needs help, beat the bad guy beaten, save the day. Next episode.
I mean, that's the Digimon formula. Yep. Like it always has been. It's very Monster of the Week for most episodes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are some things I want to hit at. So Joe has had this long running gag from the beginning that he's the leader because he's the oldest, and before everyone just kind of like never said anything, but nobody ever believed him. He'd be like, "I'm the leader," and they're just like, "Yeah, okay, you think you're the leader, whatever, it's fine, do whatever."
It's actually Taichi. You see, he's on the cover of the show, so he's obviously the leader.
But yeah, they have the episode we were talking about here where Joe actually pretty much leads the team to victory. And he once again said that he was the leader, and Tailmon believes him and doesn't understand why. It's like, this guy, he's the leader? I don't get that. Why is he the leader? And then they have the stuff in the episode, and Tailmon believes him.
And then he holds the freaking hammer.
Such a hype moment. I love that moment so
Joe
much.
Went up like 1 million points after that.
Yeah.
1 million points.
Yeah, so great. Yeah, and then the fact that at the end, like Tailmon's like, "All right, I'll listen to you, leader. You got it, leader," and nobody corrects Tailmon at all. So I feel like at this point, Joe is like technically the leader, but he's really not. But they all are like, "Okay, yeah, we can see him being our leader, but we're just gonna kind of let him do whatever."
He can be the leader, but Taichi's the shadow leader.
It's very much he's officially the leader, but it doesn't matter. Like, I kind of wish they would have done more with it, even in like the final battles, even if he wasn't the one like doing the most action. If he was more like helping like strategize, it would be like a nice throwback where he could at least be like, Lilymon, go over there and focus on that guy, and so can you help do, like, I think it would have been cool if he was more like helping coordinate.
He did
like
that
what
in the
they
original?
were doing. No, he didn't do that in the original. In the original, the leader was always Taichi.
So you're saying they kept him to how he was?
Kind of.
You're wishing they may change him.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of made it to where like the team kind of views him as the leader because no one's correcting Tailmon. So the fact nobody corrected Tailmon kind of means like they can somewhat acknowledge that he has the potential to be the leader. So as far as I'm concerned, he's technically the leader. It just doesn't matter. But yeah, I like what they did with him. It was kind of a nice moment of kind of bringing the old Joe back, because the old Joe was still very much kind of the like clumsy one everyone just kind of tolerated, but he was also the responsible one. It's like he was never super popular, but if push came to shove, he was the one who could get them out of a situation.
I think I remember you mentioning that in the last one we recorded. Do you feel like Joe was different? But now he's coming back. Character development.
Yeah, they were using him more for comic relief this time, which I don't really mind. But yeah, it was kind of nice that he at least got one moment of kind of the old Joe focus episodes where he's the one at the end. He's like, here's what we're doing. Let's get it done. And it worked. But otherwise, he kind of sat back and let the others lead the way because he didn't care. As long as everybody was safe, he was cool with it. But yeah, so that was just nice. I kind of wish they focused on it a little more, because otherwise none of the others really have a job. They just kind of are there and are like, "Oh, you're about to kill something. Cool, we'll help out now. Yay!" Yeah, it was kind of fun just seeing that Joe is kind of technically the leader, although it doesn't matter. Another character I really liked what they did with is Mimi.
Mimi.
Mimi, I really like what they've done with Mimi this time.
Mimi, best girl. Mimi, best girl. Best girl.
In the old show, like I never disliked Mimi. I liked Mimi just fine. Digimon's always one of those. I've always liked the characters. I've just had like favorites, but Mimi was never my favorite. She was there. She was very bratty. Like we knew her family had some money, but she was just kind of a brat. Like she cried about everything, complained all the time. Even on her focus episodes, like one of the most memorable ones is these Gekomon are like, our boss is asleep. Only good music will wake him up. You sing pretty good. Can you help us wake him up? And she's like, sure. And then she goes like full diva. Like she won't sing unless she has like all these demands met, and they're all like ridiculous. And they're running these Gekomon like ragged, and they don't have time to like rest or sleep or anything. And Mimi's just being super demanding. And then she sings and wakes the guy up, and then he's not even happy that he woke up. And then she beats them up because he should have respected her singing more. Like stuff like that is like all of Mimi stuff.
That didn't happen.
What?
That didn't happen in any of the episodes.
I said in the old one.
That happened in the old one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like she's the character that's the most different, and I'm really kind of glad. Like they've really made her a lot better. She's a lot more like, because especially she was always supposed to be sincerity. So like she'd be like a complete brat that have like one moment of being sincere and then like pull off some win. And then over here now, she actually feels like she is more sincere. We know her family owns like one of the top electronics companies, and she's got all this money, but she's genuinely looking out for everybody all the time. She's still fun loving. She likes like dancing and singing a lot. But even like thinking at the end, there's that moment, I won't say exactly what happens, but where Hikari is just destroyed.
Oh,
like,
I know what you're talking
super depressed and motivated, and Mimi's the one who not only finds a way to calm her down, but also like become this huge morale boost to the whole team.
That's because of Taichi.
Yeah,
that's because Taichi motivated her to be that way. Because she even mentions it at that moment. Taichi is the one who gives us hope, so we should be there to give him hope. Stuff like that.
Right. But she shows to be like way more caring too. Like in the episode, the first one we get, there's this part where they all kind of like split ways and they're having to reunite. The one where you finally get to where they're reuniting with Mimi, she's trying to save these Gatsumon from being used as slaves in this gem mine. Like old Mimi wouldn't really have cared. She would have just been like, ooh, I'm gonna take these. Okay, bye. Best of luck. But like the fact she's like, yeah, cool. I know we need to work, but we need to stop this first because this kind of stinks. You know, like I really like what they done with Mimi. She's a lot more. She almost takes the old Sora role away a little bit, which is another complaint that I have. But
you hear that? Yeah. Company making Digimon 2020. Bird Bro Falcon is not happy.
I mean, I'm not disappointed. It's just Sora's always been a weird one. But anyway, I like what they've done with Mimi. I feel like they've made her a better character overall. She was kind of one of the more annoying ones in the old one. But Sora's the only other one I really want to talk about too much. And that's because for some reason, nobody ever knows what to do with Sora. Sora is literally here just for the sake of being here.
But she kicked the ball.
She kicked the ball. That's all she did. In like this whole chunk of episodes. Like the episode we're reunited with her. I'm like, oh, cool. Garudamon's going to come in and save the day.
Yo, you have a good point there.
Garudamon comes in and it was like, hi, Taichi, what do you need us to do to help? Oh, I don't know. Kills it. And Garudamon was just there. Like, Sora has done almost nothing this entire run.
And like every other person they reunited with had like an episode towards themselves. Sora was just kind of there during Taichi's episode.
Yeah. Really. And then like we get the episode later with her kicking the ball. What is probably my least favorite episode of the whole show, honestly. It was weird. Just, oh, look, here's fruit. Let's get more fruit. The fruit are actually Digimon. Oh, that's not cool. We need to save the others. And then
oh my God, Metal Greymon is a giant fruit.
Metal Greymon and Taichi are fruits. Oh no, I saved them. They can beat the Digimon now. Like it was very much just kind of like, what?
I can't do anything without Taichi. Yeah.
And the only thing it did was confirm that Sora once again loves playing soccer like she did in the old one. That's really.
We gotta stay true to the classics. Falcon.
Yeah. I mean, but that was what was kind of cool about Sora in the old one was she loved playing soccer, but her mom wanted her to follow like very specific footsteps. So at some point, she's pretty much banned from playing soccer. So even though we didn't see her much or have like tons of focus episodes on her, it's her trying to like deal with the fact that this is something she wants to do, but she's not allowed to do. Like Sora was kind of interesting in the old one, but she always is the one, even in the old one, that seems like they never knew what to do with her. Like, there's a part in the old ones where she just leaves. They're like, what do we do with Sora? The evil Digimon convinces her she's useless, so she just leaves. And then she's just gone. And then they come back and they're like, you're not useless. She's like, oh, you're right. Okay. And then she's there again. Like, that's literally what happened. In the last Kizuna movie, Sora's not even there until the last 20 minutes. What? And there's a reason why, which I won't even say. But literally the whole time it's like, too bad Sora didn't come. And you see like a scene of her arranging flowers like in an apartment. And then you don't see her again until the very, very end. And then you find out why she wasn't there. But this one especially is like, we have to have Sora. What are we going to have Sora do? I don't know, but she's one of the original. We have to have her in there. Like, I even noticed there's a lot of times to where Birdramon isn't even animated. It's just a static JPEG they have stuck on the screen with no animation. It's like, it's so unimportant that you're not even gonna like animate Birdramon half the time.
I guess the everyone from Digimon just doesn't like Sora, huh?
I mean, Sora's just a weird, like, in the old one she kind of had like the motherly kind of vibe. It's something like she was a tomboy who loved playing soccer, but she also was the one who like made sure to look out for TK and made sure everybody was like happy and healthy. She was kind of like the mom, and then Joe was kind of like that like older brother who looks out for you, but only when you really need it. Like, they kind of were the two who made sure everybody was happy and healthy. And
Palmon was the dad.
Whatnot. Palmon's the fun uncle. Let's be real. Palmon's all the one that's like, oh, let's just start dancing. Yay. Up, there's a mine there. Whoops. Hopefully we'll get away.
Marching fishes.
I just feel like Sora very much. I've been trying to think this whole time, like, what has Sora actually done? And besides saving Taichi from being turned into a fruit permanently,
that could have killed Taichi. Okay.
I mean, it could have killed Taichi.
Okay.
But like, yeah, it's very much just like, okay. Yeah, I wish Sora actually got to do more important stuff. Hopefully we'll get to have like one more Sora focus episode and it'll actually do something with her.
It'll be when Birdramon
maybe they have some twists.
Garudamon gets that mega evolution. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to complain about. I mean, Sora's never really been my favorite, but that's because Sora never really does
anything.
It's very much like, I like Sora, but like, even though Mimi in the old one was a brat and I wasn't a huge fan,
she
honestly did stuff.
You're right. Honestly, in that the scene we're talking about where Kari's all broken, it should have been Sora cheering her up, not Mimi. That was weird. Because Sora is the one who knows Taichi the most out of everybody else.
Yeah, she and Taichi had been on
soccer
teams since they were like 6 or 7. Like, they know each other very well. They're really good friends. Like, It should have been her like comforting Hikari, because that was, especially because her like trait is love. Like, she just sits there. Well, I guess technically she was fighting with Yamato actually, so that's probably why she didn't. But they could have had Palmon turn into Lilymon and go with Yamato and have Sora sticking around to comfort Hikari. But otherwise, it's just like, cool, yeah, Yamato, Koshiro, and Sora are off fighting, so we'll give it to Mimi. They could have just swapped Sora and Mimi could have been fighting. But yeah, it's not like super important. It just really bugs me that we've really not done anything with Sora.
Will that change in the last 16 episodes? Well, I guess we'll have to wait 16 weeks from now.
Probably not, but we'll see. But that's really all the characters that we need to talk about. The others were pretty much the same.
Who would you say your favorite character is from the 50 episodes we've seen so far? And why is it Taichi?
Honestly, I don't know that Taichi... maybe. Probably Taichi or Mimi. I really, really like what they've been doing with Mimi, and they've been giving her more focus than a lot of the others too. It seems like she seems to have more lines in general.
She's a fan favorite.
So I really dug them. I like Taichi more than I did in the original. The original, I never really liked Taichi that much. He was fine. He was just kind of your reckless leader who ran into things. Yeah,
he doesn't really run into things this time. He really thinks things through. I've noticed a few times.
Yeah. I mean, that was part of the issue in the original with him.
Going back to one of the old episodes in the first 25, you mentioned, I think it was with the Tankmon. Wasn't Taichi the one to come up with the idea to settle the Tankmon instead of just brute forcing it? He did like a tactic instead to like beat them. I think he did that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think so, because Yamato didn't want them to accompany him. He was like, "I got this. You all just stay here till I'm done." But Taichi was the one who realized that he's not going to be able to evade all the fire. For him to sneak in, they had to draw the fire away. So he's the one that's like, here we go. We're going to go and run back and forth and try to draw their fire. so they can not notice him like where he's going. So I'm pretty sure that was Taichi who did that.
No, I'm talking about the episode where Mimi got introduced.
Oh, that's the Tuskmon.
The Tuskmon.
I didn't mean the Tankmon were when they were infiltrating the when they went across the ocean and they meet back up with Yamato.
I meant the Tuskmon one too. I feel like he did like a tactic there as well.
He did. I think he's the one who was like, "Cool, me and Sora can go over here. You all stay here, and we'll split them up and divide and conquer." Yeah.
There you go. See, that's smart. But compared to what you said, Taichi's just going in being all stupid and just being like, "I'm going to brute force it and win." But this time that was tactic. So that's actually really good.
And that's been a nice change for him because in the old he was just like the kind of like reckless, headstrong. I've got courage, so let's just run in there. And that's why he and Yamato always clashed in the original. Was Yamato would be like, "That's a stupid plan. You're gonna get TK hurt if we do that." Then TK is like, "I'll be fine." And then they're arguing, and then Matt's TK like, wasn't fine. Be smart about it. And then Taichi would be yelling back that they have to act now or everything's gonna go to waste. The TK starts crying, and then Sora's like, "Stop fighting, you two." And then Mimi and Joe are just there. But yeah, it's been a nice change. I like him a lot better as a main character, especially here. But that leads us to
best character.
The endings, because we have no new openings. Still the original
the opening is still the same. There's one new insert song for when they go Mega Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. That was just something nice to remember. It didn't happen every episode this time, but it was still nice to just hear the insert song because you know something badass is about to happen, and the music picks up, everything gets good.
Mm-hmm. I've really liked all the music in this one, even just like the background music. I find it sticking with me more than a lot of others. I've really been enjoying it. But yeah, the insert songs are great.
I like the insert songs. Those are memorable for me.
But yeah, so when we first started this episode, we're still on ending 2, but we talked about that last time, so we're not going to talk about it here. We will start with ending 3, which is called Mind Game from Micah N.
Whoa, Mind Game. Whoa.
I really liked this one a lot. I also like the ending animation with it. We're seeing like the Digimon in the real world with the Digidestined. And they're all just kind of doing random stuff.
Yeah.
Like I believe Taichi and Agumon are like in a batting cage. TK and Patamon are fishing, and Patamon's scared of the fish when the fish comes out of the water. Like it's just been kind of fun to see them somewhat interact there. But I really like the song. What'd you think about Mind Game?
I don't remember it.
All right.
It's been a week since we watched it, so.
No, I get you. And then ending 4 is Overseas Highway by Wolpus Carter.
An orange star. Whoa.
What's an orange star?
That's what it says. Overseas Highway by Wolpus Carter, an orange star.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the and orange star part. That's on me.
I like this one. I like the visuals. Everyone's just waking up, and then they're just showing like them all hanging out together. There's drama and stress, but it's all nice, and everyone has a fun time.
I think this is my favorite of like the actual end credit scenes. But I do think I prefer the actual Mind Game song over Overseas Highway.
Whoa.
But they're both solid. If you enjoy endings, you should enjoy these. They are fairly good. But yeah, the wiki doesn't have the new insert song name for the Mega Evolutions. Actually, wait, no. Break the Chain.
Break the Chain.
I like Break the Chain.
Break the Chain. I broke the chain. Mm-hmm. It was a good song. They were all good songs.
Yeah. So this is another thing that's confusing between dub and sub. In the sub, Ultimate is pretty much what they refer to like the Mega level evolutions, but it's Mega in the dub, and Ultimate is the chain before. So I was looking at the sub names and getting myself confused.
Oof.
Because it goes normal evolution, which is your Greymons, then super, which is your Mega, or not Mega, Metal Greymons, and then Ultimate, which would be War Greymon. But I'm so used to that being like Champion, Ultimate, Mega, so I got myself confused for a second. But yeah, I really like Break the Chain. It's also by Tanamoto Takayoshi, who did the other two as well. So I like that it's
at the opening.
Mm-hmm. Right. I like that it has that consistent artist doing all of them. It's really nice. But it also makes it a little harder to remember at some points. To be like, oh yeah, what's this one? And then,
they're all samey, but at the same time, they're also just like really, they're all bangers. So I'm sure if you took the time to like research it often when you're not watching anime, you'll probably be able to memorize it. But I can see what you're saying for the instead of watching it while you're watching the anime or binge watching it, it'll probably be hard to remember. because they're all samey and it's not like they play break the chain every time, because sometimes it's not a mega evolution, it's an ultimate evolution, and then they play the one from the ultimate evolution, but next time it's the one where Taichi evolves to War Greymon into the mega one, and the next time it's like Lilymon evolving, and then it's you get what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
It gets a little confusing.
Oh, also I forgot to say when we were talking about Mimi, I did like that they gave an alternate evolution there to
yes, I actually
looked that up. Shoot. I want to say Umbreymon, but I know that's not right.
Oh, I have the episode. It's literally this one right here, the Clash of the King of Digimon.
Yeah, what was it called? Amigomon, maybe?
Amigomon. That was a really fun one because all of them were. I like that episode, the Clash, the King of Digimon. I liked Yamato in that one because he was like, "Gabumon, where are you?" And it was just like his skin.
Ponchomon. That's what it was.
Ponchomon.
I liked that one a lot. And it makes sense because it
was really funny. It was
really from funny. Togemon to being like, oh, Togemon gets rid of the boxing gloves, puts on a poncho and a hat, and has maracas. I liked it. It made sense.
Well, I guess before we get to the weep question, we could just talk about our favorite episodes out of this one. I feel like it's something we should do, considering this is one of those where it's not like there's not like a moving story. There's just like random episodes. We can all say that episode 39, Jagamon Potato Hell, was probably the best episode. Right? We can both
S tier filler, yes.
S tier because Joe, the hammer, the hamburgers, the potato, the French fries, everything was great.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. I also like the one. I actually like the Gerbamon one, the inventor.
Koshiro's. That one I liked that one a lot too.
And then the Clash one that we were just talking about, that was also a really good one. I really liked that one. It was just funny to see all them like reacting differently to like the music. The music was causing them to glitch out a little bit.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about Clash of the King Digimon was that it brought Edamon back, because I hate Edamon with a passion. But he wasn't as bad without the stupid dub voice, because the dub voice is just atrocious.
Also, I want to mention the part where they all got separated again, and then Joe's just in like the sauna, springs. And all the Nanimon come out of nowhere and just hang
out with them. So I liked that at the start. Like, it shows like, you know, Yamato got stuck in this like enemy base almost, and he's having to like sneak and fight his way out. And then Sora got stuck with like I forgot if it was Flymon or what it was, but she's having to like evade and find her way out. And then Mimi got stuck getting chased by a Golemon, and she's trying to run for like, they're all like in trouble for the most part, except for like TK or Takaru, who starts off just kind of chilling on a hill. And then you see Joe, and he's just like sitting in a hot spring, and then all of a sudden he just looks, there's a Nanamon in front of him, and he's just kind of creeped out because it's staring at him. And then every episode, like, all these people have moved, but Mimi's still stuck on this statue trying to evade Golemon. And then Joe's still in there, but there's now more Nanamon. And then by the end, Blossomon was there. And like every time he tried to get out, Blossomon would just stick him right back in. It was humorous, but I was also kind of like, come on, like at least let Joe find a way out of it. And by the time we do, it's when he reunites with Yamato, and it's like, oh, I've been stuck in this hot springs forever, and I finally found there was a rock, and it brought me down here when we removed the rock, and all the hot springs drained. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, he's out of there now. But I like too that the Nanamon, I feel like, is a joke that we wouldn't get as much over here. So apparently in like public baths in Japan, though, like the older Japanese men will just stare at you. And so if you go and there's a bunch of like older men there, they're just staring at everybody. So I feel like the Nanamon is just like a reference to that like Joe's in the bath and all these old men come in and are just staring at him. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Another favorite of mine, before we get to your favorites, it was kind of my favorite. I like the episode 47, The Villains of the Wasteland, where Joe and Gomamon got like separated, and Taichi had to help him with the Nohamon. And then you find out like the big bad guys are like these tiny Digimon, but their brothers are just like these giant ones. That was
What was fun with that is they were like champion level. Like none of them were higher than a champion level Digimon. So instead of having all these like ultimate and megas, it's just like, yeah, they're just like champion. Like Tyrannomon is a champion, and I think the one that was like its brother, I think, was technically supposed to still be like a rookie or just like a really small champion. I don't know. But yeah, that one was amusing. Let me see. I also liked the Potato Hell one. That one was great. I liked the Mimi Chan Wars, where we talked about her trying to stop the Gatsumon getting abused.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the glowing Angelwoman. I did like that episode a lot.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Let me see. Let me go back through here, see if there's any others that I'm forgetting. I really liked the one where Blitzcraymon came in, but I don't remember exactly which one that is.
Blitzcraymon? Which one was that one? Which Digimon was
the Mega Greymon evolution where he was just like all red and had like I think he had a couple cannons on him.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that one.
Was that Operation Satellite Sniper? That was the one where they were trying to save the space station from falling down. That was it.
Oh yeah,
I liked that one a lot.
That was from him absorbing all the electricity, right?
Yeah.
And then he got that new evolution. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I kind of like that they did that because Digimon has always had this thing to where like in the games and like the digital pets and stuff, depending on how you raise them affects what they turn into. And in the original one, besides the one time where Taichi is just abusing Agumon and he turns into Skull Greymon, there was never any variation. So I did like that in this one, there are a few times where it is something different due to being in like different circumstances. I did enjoy that. I wish they used that more than they did, but I guess the one who used it the most was Takaru, where instead of going to Anjumon, it goes to Pegasmon. Mm-hmm. But they also talked about too that was due to the Holy Digimon having to regaining its power. So I'm sure Pegasmon just needed less energy to turn into than Anjumon, maybe.
I assumed just Pegasusmon was in between Patamon and Angemon.
No, Angemon and Pegasmon are both champion level, so they're the same level of Digimon.
Oh, okay.
But maybe it is just Pegasmon isn't as strong, so that it's not needed as much, but it wouldn't be able to turn from Pegasmon into Angemon, really. So that's just, I don't know. But yeah, no big deal.
I do like the branching ways, like you have two options, so.
Right. Yeah, that's fun. Otherwise, I think those are all the other ones I like are the ones you kind of mentioned. The others aren't bad, but I feel like the ones getting them back together as a group weren't really all that great.
They were
and then we had a lot of really killer ones after they came back together.
Yeah.
So that is it for our favorite moments. What is this question?
Hold on. Before that, I want to give a big shout out to a certain Digimon.
Okay.
I gotta find the name of him first. Hold on.
Okay.
It was Komondamon. Big shout out to
Komondamon, yeah.
For being a good like transportation Digimon and like helping out and being courageous with all the chosen ones. He was a good Digimon.
He was.
Shout out to him for sticking with it to the group. Good guy. Good Digimon. Yeah. All right, so you ready for my question?
All right. I have not heard this question. Condor will not tell me, but apparently it's specifically to me.
I was looking at the comments for episode 49. This was basically before episode 50 came out. And I was looking at the comments, and a lot of people were upset that they did not like this anime for one reason, whether this is serious reason or a stupid reason. I have no idea. I don't know the fan base as well, but there has been one reoccurring thing that has happened in every Digimon series, and you were the one who mentioned this to me last time when I asked about this certain character.
Mm-hmm.
Leomon dies in every single one. So Falcon, with 16 episodes left, do you think that Leomon will die? Or do you think he will actually make it to the end of the series and survive?
That's a hard question,
you, my friend. I cannot answer this because I have not watched any Digimon, so this is just a question for you to answer. I just thought it would be interesting to ask you, so feel free to. What do you think? Do you think Leomon's going to survive to the end of the series or die?
This one's hard. I kind of feel like they really could go either way with it. I mean, this is a reboot. It's different. Yeah, literally every season that Leomon is in, he dies usually within a couple episodes. But it looks like we could end up at the next part be meeting back up with Lopmon and Leomon and their whole little group. And if that happens, I think it's safe to say that Leomon is probably going to die, but it might be more like finale, like final episode kind of death thing. Like if they're fighting, whatever. Because it seems like from the episode preview that they're trying to stop like an apocalypse now from happening. So I feel like in that they could team up together and he dies from one of the Digimon they're fighting in this apocalypse plan type thing. But if they don't meet back up with them, I don't think he dies. I think it's purely if they can meet back up with Leomon and have Leomon assist them again. If
Most
not,
likely,
I think Cleomon is alive.
You think he's gonna survive? So you think he's gonna survive, or you think he's gonna die? You gotta answer one way or the other.
I'll say he dies. Just I don't see why they would have shown him to us again within the last few episodes if they weren't going to reunite. And if they reunite, I feel like he's going to give them some lesson and then get killed. So I feel like he's probably going to die by the end of it.
Well, people were actually complaining about him not being dead yet. I wasn't joking about that. People were actually complaining about that in the comments on.
Oh no, I can see that.
I don't understand.
There's pretty much two constants. Leomon, if he's in there, he always dies. And if Wizardmon is there, he normally dies. I think there might be one thing where a Wizardmon doesn't die, but those two are the usual two who.
Have we seen Wizardmon yet? I don't think we have.
We haven't seen a Wizardmon, no.
Okay. I don't know.
And we might not. Wizardmon was only important with how they originally introduced us to Tailmon in the old one. So now that they changed how Tailmon got introduced, we don't really need Wizardmon unless they have him doing something else. Yeah, that is pretty much.
That's my question. Falcon is spectacularly. Round of applause for Falcon, everybody. You're not supposed to clap for yourself.
Well, I did. So okay, get over it. But anyway,
I'm not playing that game.
Anything else we want to talk about for this next group of episodes?
Or I guess we could talk about what we're expecting for the last 16 episodes of the anime. You know,
that sounds good. All right. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first on what I would expect?
I'll go first because yours is probably more in depth than mine. Well, honestly, I don't know where they're gonna go from here because they beat the big bad, but then from the preview, it looks like something with the marks that they have is gonna do something. And honestly, what I'm hoping to see is Joe, Koichi, Mimi, and Sora's Digimon to get their Mega Evolution, like they showed in the prophecy when they were fighting Millenniumon in the past. I don't know how they can get any bigger than Millenniumon because Millenniumon was huge. Like, geez, he's probably the biggest Digimon we've seen so far. And I don't know what else they're going to show. But yeah, upon Apocalypse, well, maybe they're going to be defeating the remnants of Millenniumon's army. I assume there's probably still some more that they just didn't get. That's what I assume is probably going to happen with 16 more episodes. Other than that, I'm just hoping that maybe, as you've mentioned, the characters we haven't talked about getting to development, like Sora, Koshiro, just all of them in general getting a little bit more character development. Because as we mentioned, this show doesn't really focus on the character development; it just focuses more on the action. So most of the characters are just kind of flat, interacting with the world instead of the world interacting with the characters, and the characters growing as a result of that. So I guess that's what I'm kind of expecting. I'm hoping Leomon doesn't die because I don't like when people die. So
fair enough.
Well, you never know. If it's Digimon, he'll probably die. That's about it. What I'm expecting. What are you expecting, Falcon?
All right. So it seems like from what I read in the subtitles on the next one is that there's something with either like an Apocalypse Digimon or there's some like Apocalypse plan. So what I think has happened is this has happened a couple times in Digimon. I won't say every time. Usually when a Digimon is defeated, you find out there was a stronger Digimon pulling the strings or a Digimon like kind of setting everything in motion. So I feel like reviving Millenniumon was like plan A, and there's some Digimon in the background pulling the strings that now have a plan B.
What about those alien guys, right?
Alien guys?
The guys who were like worshiping the Millenniumon?
Oh, Vademon.
The Vademon, yeah. Maybe
Vademon are always up to something, but I feel like here they're probably just like mindless Millenniumon worshippers. I feel like there's probably somebody working like above them who got them to do that maybe. I feel like it's gonna be Myotismon because Myotismon was pretty much like the biggest bad of the first adventure until like the very, very end where there was somebody above him. And we've not really seen Myotismon. The only Myotismon we've seen was when they were fighting Devimon. Devimon, I think, turned into like No, because that was still something Devimon, I think. I don't think it was a Myotismon form. Actually, now that I think about it, I'd have to double check. But I feel like it's going to be Myotismon pulling the strings. Now he has some other plan. But in order to stop the plan, they're going to have to unlock the other megas, which means we should get another episode with Joe, Koshiro, Sora, and Mimi at least at the minimum. Which we've only got roughly 16 episodes left. Well, exactly 16 episodes left. But especially the title of the next one is The Mystery Hidden Within the Crests. So in the original, they had to unlock the power of their crest to get to their ultimate form, which is like
the Mega,
Zudomon, Lilymon, Metal Greymon.
Oh, but they already did that.
They've already got them. And in a couple of the episodes, like focus episodes after they got reunited before the end, there were a couple times we saw like kind of like a silhouette shadow of like that Digimon's mega form.
Yep.
So I feel like they've been slowly working up the ability to unlock the mega form, and they have it. And I think we're going to find out exactly how the crests are working in this one, in that through their bravery and friendship, or courage and friendship, hope and whatever, however they redeem light, that Takaru, Hikari, Taichi, and Yamato have already unlocked theirs. They're done. They've already done it. Since the others are more passive members, they haven't had that enough chance to shine to unlock it. And I feel like they're going to find out how that works. They're going to find out how it, I can unlock it while figuring out where Myotismon or whoever it ends up being will be there. And that's going to be the ultimate plan, is they have to get up to full strength, so that way when they meet him, they can stop him. So I think that's what's going to happen. I could be horrendously wrong, but even like in the old one, like they beat up Myotismon and like, we're done. And then it's like, actually, he was working for Apocalypse, who is trying to destroy everything. You thought Myotismon was bad. This thing, what?
I'm sure this guy is going to be destroying. Well, technically, we never. No, wait, the Black Knight. No, never mind. I'm sure the next big bad guy for the next 16 episodes is going to be destroying the digital world and the real world. So that's the only way they can make the stakes even higher.
Actually, it was Apocalypse season 2 or season 1. I don't remember now.
Oh, Falcon's getting his Digimon facts wrong.
I might be.
Fake fan alert.
Actually, I take that back. It was Myotismon and then the Dark Masters. And then, was the Dark Masters it, or was it Apocalypse after the Dark Masters? I don't remember.
What about the 5 billionaires?
I haven't looked this up because it's bugging me too much.
Well, Falcon's looking that up. I think this is a good time to say that all my opinions about whether this is anime is better than Pokemon anime still probably holds the same, more interest in it. But it's starting to get more samey for some aspects. I think I don't know if we mentioned this, but basically, they got like the start of the episode, Digimon that needs help, fight the Digimon, beat the Digimon, on to the next episode, rinse and repeat, make the formula. And other than the story episodes, which even if it was the story episodes were still the same in that regard. So hopefully in the next 16 episodes they'll change that, but they probably won't.
No, but I did confirm Apocalypse was season 1. I was correct. Hooray! Wow. Yeah, they defeated the Dark Masters, and then they had to fight Apocalypse. So I feel like if it's not Myotismon, it is going to be like, oh, it turns out the legend or like the prophecy or whatever, Millenniumon wasn't the actual threat they were talking about. He was just a step to it. But I feel like that could be what happens. But yeah, I have to agree. I feel like they started it off so differently. It had this like air of like freshness to the reboot, which some people liked, some people didn't. I've read a lot of people who haven't been very happy with the reboot, which fair enough. I like it, but I still think I prefer the original so far, just partly due to nostalgia. But I feel like we're going to get a couple episodes figuring out what the heck's going on. We're going to get the character episodes with those who don't have their megas. We might have another character episode for the ones who already do, just to fill out the episode count a little more, because there's 7 of them. So
there's 8 of them.
Everybody, oh yeah, you're right. There is 8. My bad. So even if everybody gets a focus episode, whether they have a mega or not, that's half the episodes we have left.
It's obviously going to be 8 episodes for Taichi, 1 episode for the rest, and then the final episode.
Probably.
Right? Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, most likely. And even like in some of the focus episodes, Taichi still comes in the end and like lands the killing blow. It's just they assisted him better to get it. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be what happens. I feel like we'll have 4 or 5 episodes that are probably more like laying out the story and what's going on. Then the 7 focus episodes, and the rest are about Taichi getting crap done. I feel like that's probably...
Personally, I felt like they could have ended it after the last episode 50. Honestly, they really could have.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they ended it with episode 50, I would have liked at least 1 or 2 episodes kind of like wrapping everything up instead of just like, hooray, it's gone. Crisis averted, roll credits.
They could have just done like 4 or 5 minutes to add it to the episode to do everything, to like wrap things up. But I get it. There's just some mysteries to be solved and everything. I just felt like episode 50 would have been a good point to stop it.
Yeah. I really wish they would go to the human world with the Digimon for a little bit in this next set. But maybe the rate the series is going, I highly doubt they will. Yeah, I feel like it's going to all be in the digital world. I feel like if the Digimon come with them afterward, it's going to be after they've stopped whatever Digimon is there about trying to ruin everything. And then it'll be like, oh, well, if you all want to go with the humans to the human world, by all means. And they'll be like, yay, and they'll go. But
little do they know, the chosen ones haven't fought their greatest foe yet. Homework Mon.
Oh no.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 worst Digimon show ever.
That's not season 5. I actually can't talk crap about season 5. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it because people keep talking so much crap about it. I just really have no interest.
Watch it and it'd be like your favorite one.
That could be what I do. I'm always saying I need to do more stuff for the YouTube, and I don't know what.
Next week we're watching season 5.
Start watching Digimon Savers and like do episode reviews every time I watch one. That could work. I might could do that. If you want to see that, let me know on Twitter at birdbropod.
Or join the Discord.
What? Or join the Discord. The link is going to be in the episode description, or you can find it on our Twitter as well. But yeah, I feel like that's really all we can really talk about right now for this. So let's go to our rating, see what has changed, what we would rate it now.
And we didn't really look back on what we rated it beforehand.
No, that was a Falcon goof I meant to, and I just forgot.
I mean, I could have done it too, but I didn't.
Yeah. So. I mean, we said last time, like, as of now, this is what we're rating it. Our ratings won't be like set in stone until the very end. So after the next episode, which will probably be in a couple months, because that's going to be when it ends.
Personally, I feel like I don't want to change my rating, not because I don't remember my rating, but I feel like from what I've seen, it was a pretty good conclusion. But if there's still more to show, then I feel like I shouldn't give my full rating. But if I'm going to give a rating for the set as a whole, like this whole set, like episodes 25 to episodes 50 for what we watched, I'm gonna give it a good old 7. I'm gonna give it a 7, my friend.
That's fair. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't gonna give it like an 8 or 9 because I feel like a lot of this chunk of episodes is weaker than the first set we did. Then we had some god tier episodes mixed in, but I feel like if I were going to give it a rating, I would probably give it a 6.5 or a 7. I still feel like it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're a Digimon fan. Give it a shot.
Would agree. If you're an action fan, I would definitely agree that this is also worth watching as well. The action is superb in this anime. 100% guarantee you will turn into a Digimon fan. I have stopped playing Pokemon because of this anime.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
I am now looking forward to the new Digimon game coming out.
I'm ready for Survive to come out. It's been delayed so many times. This game has been in like development hell. I think we were supposed to they were like, it is definitely coming out in like 2018. And then it's like, nope, 2019. It's like, cool, actually now 20. And then we saw how 2020 happened. So who really knows at this point? But I'm really ready for that game. It looks like it's going to be good, hopefully. But anyway, any closing thoughts, or should we wrap it up?
Let's give it a go. Yeah, so to conclude everything, Yakuza 0 is a really fun game. You should all go play it. 10 out of 10.
Majima's everywhere in that game, I hear.
You play as him.
All right, anyway, guys, thanks for listening to our second set of Digimon Adventure 2020, episodes 25 to 50. We hope you all enjoyed it. I know I always have a good time talking Digimon with my buddy Condor. Hopefully he enjoys it as well and doesn't think I'm just a nerd. But
we're all nerd. The hell? You see you see this?
You're listening to the anime podcast. You're a nerd too. But yeah, we hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to chat with us, you can find us on Twitter at BirdBroPod. You can also find us on YouTube, which we're gonna try to get some new episodes up soon because it's been dead for a while. But that's also at Bird Brother Podcast. You can find us there and subscribe to get the video version of the podcast as soon as we can get them up. And we have a Discord. We already said, link is in the description.
But join our Discord.
On the YouTube videos. So if you even just want to check out the YouTube videos, you can do it there. You can find it on our Twitter. You can find it anywhere that we're really there, episode descriptions and stuff. But we hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't watched Digimon yet, go ahead and give it a shot. I think you will be mighty surprised, even if you're like, ugh, Digimon's just for kids. And you might still think that afterwards. I don't know. I can't make up your mind for you. But anything you want to say, Condor, or shall we farewell to the people?
Oh, we got to say what we're watching next week.
Yeah, what are we watching next week? I don't even know.
I know. It's my turn to pick.
Yeah.
So I put a lot of thought into this. And originally I was going to choose one thing, but I decided against it because I feel like we should save that for a super special time. But next week
is our 26th episode.
26?
Wait, actually, was this our 26th episode?
I don't know.
Hold on. That means it's half a year.
It's been half a year. Whoa.
Oh, this is our 26th episode. Happy half a year of podcast, everybody.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay, go on.
Well, I mean, I was going to choose something, but I decided against it. So instead, we're going to be watching something else that's, well, I mean, it's an anime that's complete, but it's over like 100 episodes. And obviously, we can't watch 100 episodes in a week. So we're going to have to cut this up like we've been doing with Digimon. Falcon, I'm sorry. We're going to be watching the first 2 arcs of Black Clover.
Oh.
And that's only the first. That's only the first 19 episodes. I actually just looked into it.
Okay.
19? So the first 19 episodes was the first 2 arcs of Black Clover. We'll watch that. I know Falcon has ever watched Black Clover.
Nope, never seen it.
And he probably hates it already.
We'll see. That can change. I've heard mixed things about Black Clover.
I've watched a lot of it, and I think it's really good. So hopefully you will share that opinion.
I've heard
watch it.
Too generic. I've heard good. I've heard worst thing ever. So we'll have to see.
Okay. All right. Next time we're watching Black Clover.
All right. First 2 arcs.
Episode 1 through 19.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We hope you had a good time, and we hope you come back next week for our Black Clover podcast. Until then, I'm been Falcon, and
I've been
Condor. Yeah. And we'll see you
next time. We'll be talking about Yakuza 1 Kiwami. Have a wonderful day.
Oh, Kazuma!